So, hello guys, how are you? Welcome back. So, we are very good in our path, in our journey to create our stake pool. We are just about to create our keys for our stake pool. And our stake pool will need a set of keys, three sets of keys. What is called cold keys and a verification VRF keys, that stands for verifiable random function keys, and the KES key pair, which Lars described very nicely in his lesson. And we will also need a operational certificate. This is something that is very important here. And the key thing here is that our cold keys have this name precisely because they are supposed to live in cold storage in a secure USB drive, something that is not connected to your computer and that has not internet access, right? And the idea here is that these cold keys are what actually give you control of your node, because with that set of keys you will generate your operational certificate. So it is very important, and I cannot stress it enough. Keep these cold keys in cold storage and only use them when you need them. And please make sure to make some copies of this file. Right now we are on Shelly testnet. It doesn't really matter if you lose it. You can create another stake pool and do many things with that. But once you are in mainnet, you really need to make sure that you have some copies of these cold keys and those are in cold storage. Okay, so let me just get into let me explain you what I have here. I have a relay node running here. I still need to make some tweaks to the topology file so that it has more connections with more relays. Right now it's only connected to a couple of relays from the IHK cluster, but we will fix that in a minute. Now, here this terminal is interacting with my relay node, and this blue one is the one that is going to be my stake pool, my core node. I usually give them different colors so that I can easily identify them, so that it is a little bit easier, but that is just a personal taste. You can do whatever you feel is better for you. Let me just make these letters a little bit bigger so that you can see better what we are going to do. Okay, so let me just do a quick ls here, and inside this directory I'm going to create a pool keys directory, and here let me just go to pool keys, and here I'm ready to start generating our cold keys and cold counter keys. You could also use your local machine you will need to install Cardano CLI at least on your local machine so that you could run these sets of commands and you could generate your keys on your local machine disconnected from the internet, so that way you are always sure that your cold keys are never exposed to the internet. And when you need to use them, which is when you generate your node certificate, you would do it on your local machine, and when you have finished generating your node certificate, you can simply copy that file into your server and then connect and before you can remove your cold keys from your computer so that they are really never exposed to the internet, assuming that your computer would be disconnected from internet when you are generating the certificate. But well, the thing here is that perhaps I'm going too many steps ahead. Let me just generate the cold keys here. For now I can do it here in the node, so that because this is where I have Cardano CLI installed. Anyways, this server is completely isolated. There is no way to connect to it right now, apart from my SSH connection. Okay, so now we have generated the keys that we needed and the call counter. Now we are ready to generate our VRF keys. Let me just copy that. These are the keys that will allow us to participate in the staking procedure. And now we are ready to generate our key evolving signature files, ls, and it looks like we have almost everything we need. We are just missing the operational certificate. And for that, let me just grab this command. And for this, I'm going to use my relay node here. And not such file of directory. Okay, anyways, that is not working. Let me just update the file name here. And there we go. So slots per KES period is 3,600. And now we need to query the blockchain for the tip of the blockchain. And remember that for that you have this environment variable, Cardano, the node socket path. So please make sure that you have that set. So here we are right now at slot 7,760,696. Okay, so that's a long number. And as you can see, I struggle with numbers in English. But now, the thing here is that we can now evaluate expression 760,696 over slots per KES period. So right now we are on KES period 211. So with that information, we are ready to generate our certificate. And for that, let me just grab here actually I just prepared it here. So what I am doing here is that I'm just updating the KES period for this particular point in time. And I can just copy the rest of the command as is. Cardano CLI Shelly node issue operational certificate. It takes our KES verification key, also our cold signing key, and takes this argument, which is the cold counter, which is the other file that we have here. And we just calculated the KES period, and we will produce an output which will be the node.certificate. And we will use this file to run our node when we are ready to run it as a stake pool, as a leader candidate. Okay, so let me just run that command and quick ls here, and I have my node.cert file generated. So now the next thing is, as I mentioned several times, I need to get my cold files out of this computer, out of this server. So let me just bring them to my local machine with SCP. And let me do a quick ls here, and I should have those files here just for being 100% sure. Let me just do a count on the cat cold.ski. So it is 582, and now I can come here and cat cold.ski. So it is the same file exactly. Okay, so now I'm sure that I have those files on my local machine, and from here I can easily move them to a secure storage. And one next thing to do here is remove all the cold files, ls. So now we have all what we need, all the keys that we need, and the operational certificate. So see you in the next video, in the next lesson, where we are going to be showing you how to configure your topology files to allow your core node to only connect to your relay node, and we will configure also the relay node topology file to connect to your core node and to other relays in the network. So that is material for the next video. So see you there and good luck.